I'm trying this reading again. As my first reading, every time I said the moon, it came out like a mooing noise and was really weird. Welcome, readers and listeners, leaders and followers, all of our entities and guests. This reading is intended to help guide us as we're embarking on this evening's adventures and journeys. Many of us don't know that even though this is part of the Major Arcana, it's a water card. And for us, being an evening reading, this card also brings great power and importance when drawn. Here to influence our night, our path, and journey is the 18th major card of the Thoth deck, the Moon. Let's work backwards tonight and talk about the negative aspects or warning with the moon before we get into the positive attributes the moon brings. And the only warning with this card is that for it to have its best impact, we have to dive deep into our darker selves and deal with some truths we've been ignoring. Doing this means we need to prepare ourselves before we do that deep dive, or the shock will overcome us and take us off path. Too many of us aren't prepared to deal with the honest truths about ourselves and from our darkest parts. But that's what's happening tonight if we want to avoid disaster. The moon is warning, saying bad news is coming if we don't come to a realization from our dark side. To not do the work or ignore the difficult truths is to avoid bringing the moon to the light and instead invites ruin to us. So do the work. It's a great night to stay in now and get into our own mindset and psyche. Dive deep into the things you ignore normally and that make you uncomfortable, and ask yourself what your inner voice demands you pay attention to and that you stop ignoring. So get to that dark spot and listen. Learn the lesson that the voice is trying to tell you and apply it immediately. Those that do will bring a new day and evening tomorrow of light and energy. For those that don't do the work or have the courage, the darkness of the moon is where we will dwell until we learn to do things differently. Be safe and be well.